Boredom. It's more than having nothing to do. Welcome back. My name is Jennifer. I'm a mother of 4 in recovery from alcohol addiction. I'm not an expert or a therapist, just a fellow traveler on the path, hoping that maybe something that's been helpful for me will be helpful for you too. So we're all susceptible to phases of boredom in our lives, but for this video, I'm going to focus on the boredom that comes with recovery, early recovery especially. I think a lot of us see boredom as a privilege, and it can be. Yesterday, I was having one of those gong show mornings where little things were piling up, nothing was going right. Ended up, I couldn't find my keys. We left late. Then we were stuck in traffic. Then I ran out of gas in the traffic, and my daughter was late for a test. The younger kids were fighting over whether a package of gum was open or closed. One of them ended up crying. I managed to get safely to the side of the road. Grateful. My mom happened to be available to come and take the girls to school. Very grateful. By that time, I was remembering what a privilege boredom can be, realizing how I really do thrive in the absence of chaos now. Boredom is a privilege in a lot of ways. It indicates the absence of chaos and danger. And how great is that to be able to sit quietly without fear? Boredom can be a gift, an opportunity to really think and plan and create. But if chaos is all we've known for the last months or years or lifetime, boredom can hit us very hard. This gaping chasm of time we have no idea what to do with, feeling restless and aimless, weary, empty, apathetic. Boredom is actually a huge risk factor for relapse, and not just in the, I don't know what I should do today. I know, liquor store, although that's a thing too. So maybe we can take some time to break it down a little here, see some of the different ways it can hit us, and then some things we can do to manage and overcome it. So in our addiction or our unhealthy behavior, there is a certain degree of chaos that gives us purpose. What am I doing today? I don't have to think much about that. Managing withdrawals, dealing with guilt and fallout, getting through the bare bones of the day with some semblance of normalcy, finding my substance and enough of it, figuring out how to afford it, having the same conversation again about why I need it, but I think today I can do less than yesterday, and then why I was wrong and I actually need more. You get the picture. The point is, in active addiction, I really wasn't ever wondering what to do with my time. Getting through the day was my purpose. Then for a long time, trying to get sober was my purpose. Then detox was my purpose. Then life in addiction is life in the limbic system, fight or flight, survival, and the constant flood of neurochemicals that go with it. We can get accustomed to such a high, constant level of cortisol, the stress hormone, that state can be what we think is normal. Then maybe you've heard about things like the pink cloud, where immediately after stopping a substance and for a period of time, our dopamine levels are actually still really high until the point when our brain catches on. It's time to recalibrate and get to regular levels of everything. When that pink cloud bursts, it can be like a sudden sucking void of any feeling, of any stimulation, of any drive or motivation. There's a word, anhedonia, which means the joyless state. And while that doesn't happen to everyone, it seems to happen to most people in some form. Some say it 3 months, 6 months, sometimes immediately, sometimes never, sometimes repeatedly over the period of the first year. In any case, it's a real thing and it doesn't last forever. So professionals describe 5 different stages or types of boredom. The first one being indifferent boredom, which is nothing is interesting, but I'm still kind of feeling okay. This is the kind of boredom often that accompanies relaxation, maybe the kind of boredom that kids experience during summer vacation. The second one is calibrating boredom, which is basically like you're still okay, but you're trying to think of things to do. And if some good option comes up, you'll go do it. The third one, searching, is accompanied by an intense restlessness. It's uncomfortable to be in that state. I would argue that this is where a lot of people in early recovery land. If our substance use swallowed up a lot of time, this state of quiet can be unnerving and distressing. The fourth kind, reactant boredom, when you're actively trying to escape boredom. So this is the point where impulsive, not so great decisions start to be made. Tense, fidgety, angry, impulsive, feeling trapped. Space is dangerous for relapse because we just want to do anything to escape this feeling. The fifth stage is apathetic boredom. That's like giving up, feeling helpless. This can also happen in an area where we don't have control or autonomy, like maybe in a living situation where we have restrictions on us, or in a job that we really can't tolerate. Having no money or no way out of this state. This can result in giving up, and there's just no energy to fight it anymore. So boredom stems from a lack of connection, structure, and purpose. A lack of motivation. If we don't find healthy ways to deal with it, it's very easy to fall back into unhealthy behaviors. We can lose the plot, like, is this what sobriety is? This is it? Like, how many hours till bedtime? So then, let's talk about some healthy approaches. It may come as no surprise that planning activities is the top recommendation for combating boredom. And definitely, yes, we've got to find ways to fill time. A small, achievable to-do list, going to a movie, hitting the gym, going for a walk, picking up that sweater we started knitting 2 years ago, going grocery shopping, joining a book club, and thousands of other ideas. Even super boring activities are less boring if we've chosen to do them. And that's science. So it's important, really important. But now that we understand some of the complexity and causes of boredom, we can imagine so many more ways to approach it. Asking myself, how am I bored? Do I miss hanging out with friends, being out in the community? The answer is no, because I'm a total hermit turtle face. But even I can acknowledge my need for human connection and community. Connection is what's going to keep me sober. So I find ways to connect that work for me. I met with 3 different friends for coffee this week. I can't remember the last time that's happened. Will I need to sleep for the next week to recover? That's beside the point. Meetings, good, supportive meetings, are an invaluable source of connection, especially in early recovery. Being around people who know what it's like can be life-saving. I personally prefer in-person meetings because you have to wear pants and leave the house, and to me, nothing beats sitting in the same room together. There are so many meetings online, so I encourage you to look around for one that feels good to you. Feeling seen and understood can improve anyone's day. HALT is an acronym that is helpful for urges and cravings, but it can also come in handy for boredom. Am I hungry, angry, lonely, tired? I address those any way that I can and then see how I feel afterward. And here's another acronym for you. VACI, V-A-C-I, vitally absorbing creative interest. We pronounce it VACI because we've decided it's Latin, I guess. But a VACI is any kind of creative pursuit or passion that feels good to do, fills time, and can lead to a flow state, especially if it was something we loved to do as children or before addiction. Playing guitar, knitting, biking, fishing, fixing cars, gardening, things that capture our attention and just feel good and fun and make time fly. Finding a VACI is like finding a golden ticket, the ultimate boredom beater. We can talk some other time about how it can become an addiction of its own, but let's not ruin it for today. Speaking of time, it's most likely going to take a fair chunk of time and work before sitting alone with nothing to do and having a sense of quiet contentment is possible. It's really okay if boredom doesn't equal peace for you. It doesn't mean it never will. So maybe I'll end with this thought. Boredom is a realistic part of life, and it's not always a bad thing. In fact, it's often not a bad thing. We're gonna have to do mundane things. We're gonna have to wait. And we are not owed a life full of entertainment and stimulation, free from discomfort and friction. We're gonna need to manage and ease our boredom, especially in the early days, to keep that existential angst at bay as our brain and body heal, and we learn to be with ourselves all day again. So please share your VATCHI below. Bonus points if it's super unusual. And please remember to have compassion for yourself when things suck. Thanks for sticking around. Please subscribe if you haven't. Have a good day and a good weekend, and I'll see you soon.